Hello and welcome back. I told you there was going to be a part 2 of this video so that you can get the hang of solving compound inequalities. So what I like to do is solve them just like equations, except for the fact that there will be two sides. So I'm going to just draw a line so I know that there's going to be stuff I'm going to have to get rid of. So I want to get x by itself, right? I'm going to get rid of this positive 4. What's the opposite of a positive 4? Negative 4. And whatever I do in the middle, I'm going to do to each side. Okay, that's going to cancel out here. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and do these. 6 negatives and 4 negatives. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4. How many negatives is that altogether? 10 negatives. And 10 take away 4. 6. Okay, and I'm still left with this inequality. All right, I'm left with 2x. All right, so a lot of people don't know this, but this 2 is being multiplied by x right there. Yeah, you can see it. So what's the opposite of multiplying? Dividing, right? So I'm going to divide that by 2, by 2, by 2. Oops, sorry about that. Let me just erase that really quick. See, even the best math teachers get it wrong sometimes, so just wanted to show that was totally on purpose. Totally on purpose. So 2 divided by 2 is just 1x. I now have that x by itself. Okay. A little bit of division. 6 divided by 2. 2 goes into 6 how many times? 3. And 2 goes into 10 5 times. And if you are having difficulty with integers, might I suggest using, I like to call him a multi-deviant man. I used to teach middle school, if you can't tell. Why won't you let me make him a plus? All right, I have a negative divided by a positive. Okay, so that means my answer will be negative. All right, so we're going to pull apart just like we did in the last video. I have x is less than 3 and negative 5 is greater than or equal to x. I'll switch this around, so that's x is greater than or equal to negative 5. So let me start graphing these. I'll start with the easier one, the positive one. X is less than 3. So again, open or filled in. Open. What are some numbers that are less than 3? Well, 2, 1, all the negative numbers going that way. And let's do the next one, which is negative 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negative 5. Open or filled in. Filled in. All right, and what are some numbers that are greater than negative 5? Well, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, all the positive numbers. It's pretty much all the numbers going that way. Again, there's a bit of an overlap. I'm going to shade that in. Hopefully, I will shade that in with yellow. Okay, so there is a bit of an overlap there. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. So here I still have equality. I have to solve it. I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so I'm going to just draw a line. Okay. Again, I have to get rid of this negative 6. What's the opposite of a negative 6? Positive 6, right? So whatever I do to the middle, I have to do to the other sides of this inequality. Okay. So negative 18 plus 6. I'm not going to draw out all those negatives, but my answer is going to be negative 12. I'm left with 3x because 6 take away 6 is just going to cancel out. I will draw this one out. I have 3 negatives and 6 positives. So 1 take away 1 is 0, 1 take away 1 is 0, 1 take away 1 is 0. I'm left with 3 positives. Again, a lot of people know this, but 3 times, that little symbol there is multiplying. What's the opposite of multiplying? Dividing, right? Divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. That's x is, I forgot all about my symbols, is less than, 3 goes into 12 4 times, and again, use your multi-decrement if you need to. All right, so that's negative, positive, so that means that's going to be negative. And 3 goes into 3 once. So I have x is less than or equal to 1, negative 4 less than x. Let's switch that around. All right, so let's graph this one first. It seems to be the easiest. There's 1, open or filled in? Filled in. What are some numbers that are less than 1? Well, 0, every negative number known to man and women. All those numbers. All right, and let's do the next one, different color. When have I never used a different color? So negative 4, open or closed circle? Open, right? And what are some numbers that are greater than negative 4? Well, all of these numbers and every positive number known to man, right? So there is a bit of an overlap. If you haven't already found that out, there is always, well, not always, but for the last few questions, there have been a little bit of an overlap. So there's that. Oop. All right, let's do another one. All right, this one seems to be not too bad, somewhat tame. All right, so again, we're going to draw our lines here, kind of keep everything separated. I'm going to get rid of this positive 2. What's the opposite of a positive 2? Negative 2, negative 2. So 5 take away 2 is 3. 2 take away 2 is 0. And 3 take away 2 is 1. And we're going to kind of just pull these apart. I'm going to put this in order. All right, so I'm going to be looking for all the numbers that are greater than 1. Filled in circle or open circle. Filled in. What are some numbers greater than 1? 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and every number greater than 1. And let's do 3 in a different color. Let me see here if I can find a different color. Let's use green. That's 3. So open circle or filled in? Open. All right. And which direction? Well, less. What are some numbers that are less? 2 is less than 3, and 1 and 0, and every negative known to man, women. So there is a little bit of an overlap. We're going to draw in green, or not. Ooh, it finally went yellow. Success. All right, let's finish this this lesson with one more. All right. Oh, a negative. Oh, let's see what happens. All right, so again, we're going to draw our lines. Okay. What's the opposite of a positive 1? Negative 1. Good job. Okay. 5 take away 1 is 4. Negative 2x. Keep that symbol. All right. And 3 take away 1. 2. Okay, this is being multiplied, right? Over that, being multiplied. What's the opposite of multiplying by a number? Dividing, right? We're going to divide by -2, everything. All right, so I'm going to be left with x. I'm going to be left with 2 goes into 4 twice. Again, I'll use the multi-DV man. Negative divided by positive is a negative. And 2 goes into 2 once. Negative divided by a positive is negative. Now, if you notice, I kind of didn't put the symbols yet because we actually divided by, oh, sorry, getting a little late in the hour, and my spelling has gone right out the window. Sorry about that, folks. So we divided by negative. Whenever you divide by negative with inequalities, just like when we switch the order, we have to also switch the symbol. The symbol has to switch. I included this just so that you know. So I'm going to switch this both directions. So just notice how I switched both. I'm going to highlight just in case some of you didn't catch that. See, I switched it. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and graph. I'll use a different color because I'm going to graph. Okay, I like purple. I don't like to highlight though in purple. Maybe you do, but I do not. I want to highlight in purple. I do not want to write in green either. We'll get it right some days, folks. All right, let's try and do this one. X is greater than or equal to -1, and -2 is greater than x. We'll switch this around. I know that's a lot of switching. We're going to switch the order. Okay, so let's see. X is, so let's start with -1. Start with this one, filled in or open circle. Filled in, right? All the numbers that are greater than -1, well, they're all these numbers here. Positive numbers, 0. All right, let's try and do this one right here. That'd be -2. And what are some numbers that are less than -2? First of all, open or closed circle? Open. Okay. And what are some numbers less than -2? Well, -3 comes to mind, and -4 and -5. Do not be alarmed, for I do not believe these will actually overlap. They're going their own separate ways. They're parting ways. All right. So there is one where there is no overlap. Isn't that awesome? Okay. And that's the end of it, folks. So if you have any other questions, having difficulty with the homework, please come into the center, ask your tutors and teachers. And as always, happy math problem solving. Nice day. I'll see you later.